Hey, this is Chase with Premier Web Development. This is going to be just a quick discovery video to talk about what we can do to increase your rankings and bring you more qualified traffic. So the first thing we take a look at is the on-site SEO, and that's everything having to do with the site itself that we can change to help with rankings. So that's things like the page title tags, the descriptions, the actual content itself, as well as things like the image alt tags. The first thing we'll look at here is the page title. So if we look at a search for Gilbert Orthodontist, which would be one of your biggest keywords, you'll see here the first result has a very good title tag for that keyword. It's just the business name, the Robinson Orthodontics, and then Orthodontist Gilbert AZ. And that just helps them show up for anything like Gilbert Orthodontist or Orthodontist Gilbert. You know, those main keywords are in there and it's not diluted with other information. If we take a look at your title tag back here, you'll see that you have orthodontist in Gilbert AZ, orthodontics Mesa AZ orthodontist, and it actually goes longer than that. It goes well past the Google guidelines on how long a page title should be. And what that does is it kind of looks like keyword stuffing essentially. You know, you're trying to tell Google, hey, I want to rank for all these different terms that don't actually apply to that page, and also dilutes the authority that you're essentially giving for the keywords you do want to rank for. So if you do want to rank for, orthodontist in Gilbert, all this extra information that's all in there dilutes the power of having this in your title tag. So we definitely want to change your title tags all throughout the site. It looks like you actually have some pages that haven't been optimized at all. Like your treatments page, the keyword is just treatments on title. It just says treatments, Glovsky Orthodontics. So, most people aren't going to be searching for just the keyword treatments or even like orthodontic treatments. You really want to have that title tag much more descriptive to include all the services or the main services, things, main keywords like braces or something like that on that title tag. So we definitely want to redo the title tags as well as the descriptions throughout your site. Jumping into the site, I started to look at the alt tags on these images. And I believe this is the only one throughout the entire site that actually has an alt tag. And what an alt tag is it's basically telling Google what the image is about. Google can see if you've copied images from other sites, if they're not original images. But that's about the only thing it can tell about images. It doesn't know what an image is about or what's in the image. So the way you tell Google the content of your page as far as images go is through alt tags. And this is the only one I could find with an alt tag, and the alt tag is only just testimonials. So that doesn't really do anything for any type of keywords like orthodontist or braces or any of the services you want to get found for. So if we take a look at other images like this one here, this one has the same alt tag here, which looks like it was some type of generated alt tag where it just says cash machine _ home. Pretty much all the images on your site all have that same alt tag. So that's not descriptive of what you're trying to get found for. It's not descriptive of what the image is actually portraying. So you really want to fix those alt tags throughout the entire site. So the next thing I notice is that your SSL is broken as well. So if you look up at the address bar here next to your domain, you'll see that you have this little lock symbol with a yellow yield sign on it. And basically what that says is, hey, you have an SSL on the site, but the SSL hasn't actually been installed correctly. The site hasn't been reconfigured to work with an SSL. So the SSL really isn't doing anything for you. Right here it says connection not secure. This means if anybody goes and fills out like a contact form on the contact us page, that information is not going to be encrypted because the site is not actually configured to work with an SSL yet. And the way you can tell that is if you come in and take a look at the actual code on the site, everything having to do with your domain, the glovskyortho.com, should have an HTTPS. And we see that there's several places in the site that refer to just the HTTP version. So basically, it's a real easy fix. We just need to do a rewrite in your database to make it so all the HTTPs turn into HTTPS. It's a quick fix that will make your site fully compatible with the SSL and actually show that green lock symbol up here instead of that yellow warning sign. So the last real major issue with your site here is the way the content is structured under the site itself. So, the site looks like there's quite a bit of info here, but all this is really only built under 5 pages. Like if we go to your treatment page here, you have the 5 different tabs that have quite a bit of information. things like your retention section here for retainers. There's quite a bit of information here, and that's all good. But you'd have a really hard time ranking this page for really anything because you can't fit all the keywords for all these different sections into that title tag and into that page description, to have that be found. Again, if we go look at that search, that Gilbert Orthodontist search, what I want you to notice is every single one of these title tags has those keywords in it. It has Gilbert Orthodontist, Gilbert Orthodontist, Gilbert Orthodontist, Gilbert Orthodontist. Every single one of these has Gilbert and Orthodontist in the title tag. So that's really important for, especially for competitive searches nowadays. The internet's so saturated that your pages have to be really specific, and you have to have those keywords that you're trying to get found for specifically in that title tag. So when you have a whole bunch of information you're trying to cover all under one page, it becomes near impossible to just rank for, or to rank for multiple terms in that page. The pages need to be really specific to those individual keywords that you would try to be ranked for. So things like retainers, if somebody's trying to search about getting retainers later on or something like that, it's going to be really hard to get found for that when you have all this extra information about different things on this page as well. And if you look at the main competitor there, that Robinson Ortho, what I want you to notice is every single one of these sublinks here on their navigation, every single one of these is a different individual page with, well thought out information, a specific title tag, specific description. That's all about that one page. So not only is it kind of better for the end user to find what they want, but it's also really what Google wants as well. Google's trying to find the best resource to deliver to people that are using its search engine. And we can do a lot to trick that and help, sites increase in rankings by building a better backlink portfolio. But you still have to be a really good resource for Google to put you back up, or to put you at the top. So, this type of breakdown of having really specific pages for the individual services and keywords they want to get ranked for is a much better approach, unfortunately, to what you have here. So I would highly recommend, breaking this stuff apart and all of these things being essentially 5 different pages here instead of 5 different sections on one page. Same thing with the braces here. And that is another thing that I noticed is this page is the braces page, but the page doesn't have much information about braces itself. It's got oral hygiene stuff here, some common problems and treatment issues. But the majority of the actual braces information kind of seems to be under the treatment page. So those things are not really working hand in hand. That can, if it's confusing to a user, then it's definitely going to be really confusing to Google, and it's going to, lose some trust on Google seeing you as an authority and wanting to present this information to its searchers. So we highly recommend reorganizing some of these, the info throughout the site to be on their own pages so we can optimize those pages themselves with proper title tags and descriptions and image alt tags. So now we're going to get into the off-site SEO, and that's everything having to do with your backlinks and your social profiles and your citation sites. And citation sites are things like Yelp or Yellow Pages. They're essentially business directories that include your name, address, and your phone number. So the off-site SEO is really what determines a website's rank. If you have 2 different websites that are both good resources and they have well thought out content and they have good title tags and descriptions and everything about the site is built correct, then the only way Google can tell where a site should be ranked is based off of its off-site information. It's what other websites are making recommendations to Google that you should be ranked for these keywords. So we'll jump right into some of these stats and compare them with that Robinson Ortho to kind of give you an idea of where you're at and where they are at. If we take a look at your Ahrefs rank, that's basically out of all the websites out there, the hundreds of millions of websites, it's the total, they give you ranking based off of the power of those links that come into you. So just because you'd have a higher or lower power over somebody else doesn't necessarily mean you'd rank above or below them. There still has a lot to do with the relevance of those links coming in, the anchor text that they use to link over to you, as well as some other factors. But we'll just kind of jump through these. So you're around 44 millionth most powerful website on the internet. You have 634 backlinks, but this isn't too important. What's really important here is the referring domains. So you have 36 other websites that are linking over to you. You have 634 total backlinks, but from the websites themselves, that's only 36 total websites. This domain rating right here for 36 websites, this is really worrying. It's really concerning. The fact that you have 36 websites but only a 1.6 domain rating. So this domain rating goes between 0 and 100, and the only time you'd ever see, a site over, let's say, 90 is, sites like Facebook or Twitter or these, really, really huge social platforms. They're about the only sites out there. They're going to be in the upper 90s. The URL rating is just the rating based off those links for this specific page, essentially your home page. But this domain rating is for the entire domain. So if we go take a look at your competitor here, the Robison Ortho, you'll see that they're actually in the top million. So they're 283,000th most powerful website out there. From their 108 referring domains, they have a domain rating of 58. So that tells me that they have some really high quality domains that are linking over to them. A URL rating of 30, so the URL rating isn't that much better, but this is really the big thing here. This is really going to help them rank for pretty much anything they want to rank for, because that domain rating is so high based off of 108 referring domains. So it's a bunch of really good high quality domains that are not spammy by any means. If we jump back and take a look at your referring domains, what I see here is that almost all of these are basically simple citation sites. You have Better Business Bureau, Bird Eye is a citation site, DMOZ Tools is a citation site, Folkt is a citation site. This one's all right, the Arizona Dental Association, but it looks like you've actually lost that link. Yeah, it doesn't look like you're actually listed on there anymore, so that would definitely be something you'd want to look into. Getting highly relevant links, like from a dental association website, is a really good thing to have. You definitely want to have links coming from dental or orthodontist related sites. This is more citation. So the vast majority of these links are actually just citation sites. And citation sites are good. You want to have those. It's the good start of any SEO campaign, is you should have a good amount of social profiles built out as well as citation sites. But the citations aren't really going to help you for organic. It's just for organic rankings. They're just there to help confirm to Google that you are a legitimate business and that there's multiple other websites that are all confirming your same name, address, and phone number. So when I really dug into your citations, I did find that you had quite a few decent ones. You have about half of the top recommended ones that you should, at least have. But the real problem with them, and kind of the main reason why you're supposed to have citations in the first place, is to, confirm to Google that a bunch of places are having that same name, address, and phone number. But what I see here is basically a different business name for almost every one of these profiles. It's a little bit different of a variation. So we need to go through and actually get access to all these different citation sites, which we can do, and fix that name to be a singular name, whatever we want that to be. And I would make it probably this, unless you want something slightly different, but you want to have a main keyword in there, like orthodontics or orthodontist. That Glovsky Orthodontics is a great name that should be something like that for all of these citations, versus just what you have now. If we pull that up here, if we switch over to maps, what you've actually given to Google for a business name is not necessarily user friendly. It's this right here. Yeah, the Jeff Glovsky DMD PC. That, imagine this is kind of like a title tag. You want to have keywords to be able to be found for in that Google My business name, which is the same name you're going to have across all those citations. So we'll want to bring all those citations as well as your Google My Business name to one singular name that reflects that same name across all your citations. But it also needs to be user friendly and have keywords that you're trying to get found for. So if you look at all the top listings, the top 3 listings, which are the same as what shows in the map pack here, they all have orthodontics, orthodontics, orthodontics. So you definitely want your name to have orthodontics or orthodontist in that actual business name. If somebody is searching for an orthodontist and they see that business name that you have, the Jeff Glovsky, DMD PC, this doesn't say anything to anybody. You know, any regular person that looks at this is going to have no idea that this is an orthodontist and that it's not doing anything to help your business bring customers from that map pack in a Google search or from Google Maps itself. So jumping back into the top citations, there's still quite a bit. There's still about 23 other top citations that we'd want you to have, as well as the potential citations, which is what your competitor has. So everything down this first column right here, this is all the Robinson Orthodontics. We'd want to make sure to match all the citations they have, as well as your top 4 other competitors. This is all their citations as well. We want to make sure to match all the citations they have. So you have all the top citations, all the citations your competitors have, and they're all in sync saying the same information, that same name, address, and phone number. That's what will really help you bump up in the map pack and Google Maps as well, especially with that name change. But it's also a really good authority foundation so that whenever we do send other links to your site, other actual big authority links, Google's willing to trust those links a lot more because you have a whole bunch of other business directories that are confirming you're a real business. So the last thing we'll take a look at here is the anchor text. And the anchor text is when somebody sends a backlink from their site to yours, the anchor text is the actual text that's used to make that link. So, sometimes they'll say click here or visit website, or they'll actually have descriptive words like your services or your brand name or something like that. So you want to have really diversified anchor text. You don't want to be spammy. You want all of them to be slightly different. And you really should have the majority of them be things like your brand name or the URL. So if we look at Robinson Ortho here, you'll see that their top used anchor is their brand name, and that's good. They have the Robinson Orthodontics. And we come look at most of their Gilbert anchors. So these things here, the orthodontist Gilbert. If we take a look at the referring domain that made that anchor text, we can see that these are different domains. So we have different websites. This MJOLBY Stad Hotel, that's not sure what that domain is, but at least these are different here. The mod sheet and that domain. If we have orthodontist and Gilbert AZ here, we got the TiffanyGPhoto.com. If we come and take a look at your anchors, so this is the ones for Glovsky Ortho. Let me take a look at these Gilbert referring domains. They're pretty much all this timbrooks01.blogspot.com. So you're not getting a whole bunch of different recommendations. This is actually just a random web search. This is another really small search engine like Google. And when somebody does a search for anything in there, it basically creates a backlink. So this isn't really a meaningful backlink, but it is a different domain. But most of these ones all come from this timbrook01. Yeah, pretty much all of them come from the timbrook01 at blogspot.com or .blogspot.com. Excuse me. If we take a look at that actual website, it's a whole little subsection of blogspot.com where all these articles are all basically just linking over to Glovsky Ortho. So nothing about this looks very natural. If I was Google and I looked at this, I would definitely penalize this site from handing off any authority to you. Because it's just a whole bunch of the backlinks that you have coming into your site, all of the descriptive ones, really all come from this one random blog, which obviously it looks like another SEO company created for you guys. It's not the best way to do SEO. This could definitely get you penalized in the long run. It's just a whole bunch of small articles all filled with links to your site. And what that really hurts is that this is all your Gilbert anchors. So, even though it's a whole bunch of different descriptive anchor text, Google's only really getting one recommendation from all of the sites that link over to you that you should be listed for these Gilbert keywords. Like these anchors here, orthodontist and Gilbert AZ, all these Gilbert and orthodontist related anchors, they're all coming from just one site. So Google can't really take that seriously. So I appreciate your patience in waiting for this video. Every time we look to take on a new client, we do have to set apart a few hours for us to do the research and really look into the issues you're having. Make sure that we can identify what's really holding you behind in your rankings. And I appreciate you watching this video. If you have any other questions, it's 480-818-5230. Please reach out, and thanks again.